Get unready with me while I tell you about my experience with the 10-year-olds at Sephora as someone who used to work at Sephora. Okay, so I was just on the floor helping people out, and this little girl came up to me, obviously asking if we had the Drunk Elephant bronzy drops. This was the time when they were so incredibly viral that they weren't in stock literally anywhere. So I told her that no, we didn't have them, but I have some really good dupes or alternatives that I could show her if she'd like. The second I had said that, this girl had this just look of like pure disgust on her face. This girl looks me dead in the eyes and goes, "Are you effing kidding me?" Literally, this little girl, and she did not say effing, she said the whole thing. I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry, they're sold out, but like I said, I can show you some alternatives. She looks at me, she's like, no, I don't want an alternative, I want the bronzy drops. And again, I was like, I'm so sorry, but we don't have them. So then she proceeds to ask me if we have the Drunk Elephant retinol serum. Mind you, she cannot be any older than like 10 years old. But I'm not her parent, I just literally work at Sephora. So I was like, yeah, we do, but I want to let you know, like, this is a very strong serum. You really probably don't need it for your young skin. She looks at me and she goes, yeah, I really don't care what you think or what you say. I want it, so I'm gonna buy it. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just doing my job, and I walk her over to the Drunk Elephant section, and as like a little last ditch effort, I was like, I just want to say this serum is so strong, even I can't use it because it's too strong for my skin. She obviously did not care whatsoever. She like rolled her eyes and was like, yeah, like whatever. So then she proceeds to make those like face smoothies, like with all the testers, with like literally every single serum, and just like make the biggest mess. And I'm not like her mom or anything, like you can do whatever you want, just like I'm gonna clean it up when you leave. So I didn't say anything, I just kind of let her like play around, walk around the store, and then her mom comes in. Here I am thinking that the mom's gonna like talk some sense into this child and say, listen, little girl, you don't need a retinol serum, but instead the girl goes up to her mom and is like, mommy, like, can you buy this for me, please? So the mom takes it and she's like reading it and she's like, retinol, why do you want this? I kid you not, the little girl goes, oh, the worker told me I should get it. What? No, ma'am, I did not. So I'm like, oh crap. Like, the mom comes up to me and she is so pissed off. She is like, why are you trying to upsell my daughter? That is piggery. This is disgusting. Like, how do you even do that? Now, side note, like obviously when you work in retail, customer service is everything. So like, you're kind of used to like angry people sometimes, but you still have to be like nice and respectful to the customers. So I was like, oh my gosh, ma'am, I am so sorry for the misunderstanding. I did not tell her to get that. I actually advised against it, but I can't tell her what to do. Thinking that she would be like, oh, okay, so sorry. No. She was like, oh, so you're calling my daughter a liar? Oh God. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. No, ma'am, that is not what I'm trying to say. I just wanted to let you know that I did not recommend a retinol serum for your 10-year-old daughter. Meanwhile, I look over at the kid and she's just like looking at me with this like grin. Like she knew what she was doing, but the mom was so mad. So I was like, I'm so sorry, you know, doing all like the customer service stuff. But then she looks at the kid and she's like, yeah, we're not getting this, but like you can go pick something else out. And I was like, okay, like if you guys need help looking for anything. And she was like, no, we don't need your help. It's like, okay, I see. So at this point, I'm just kind of like letting them do their own thing. Obviously, I'm like there if they need help, but I'm not going to insert myself anymore. But I see them like walking around in like the Charlotte Tilbury section. She's like, I want the magic cream, the eye cream, and the magic serum. Anyways, they end up coming up to the counter and all she's cashing out with is the Drunk Elephant retinol serum. So I didn't say anything, but as I'm checking them out, the mom is like, how bad is this actually gonna be for her skin? And I was like, it's not really safe for younger skin. Retinol is usually for people 25 and older, but I can't tell you what to do. And she was like, I'm so sorry if I was coming on too strong earlier, but like if she just uses like a little bit, like will it be that bad for her skin? And I was like, again, I do not recommend a 10-year-old using retinol, but that's just my opinion. She bought it, and as they were cashing out, I was like, oh, you have X amount of points, like do you want any of our 100-point gifts? So the little girl looks at the gifts and she says, I want that one. I don't even know why I was surprised, but it was like the Estee Lauder Night Repair for anti-aging serum. So the mom was like, is that safe for little girls? I was like, again, I don't recommend it, but I don't know what you want me to say here. So she picked out that gift and that was pretty much it. But it was a crazy little experience. And then that little girl came in the next week with her friends. Too much. There's so many stories that I have from working at Sephora with like older people, younger people, like the amount of stories that I can tell. It's insane. Moral of the story is, moms, if your child wants Drunk Elephant, just advise against it. And if you're a little girl and you want Drunk Elephant, you do not need it. You are going to damage your skin. Your perfect young skin.
I'm actually scared of every 8 to 13-year-old that I saw at Sephora yesterday, but I've seen the TikToks about how Sephoras now look like daycares, and I experienced that for the first time yesterday. So I made it a goal to go around and look at what they had in their hands, and I feel like you could even guess. There was this one, she probably looked 7. She was wearing Lululemon leggings too, so I was like, okay, here we go. Let me see what she got in her hands. And it was this big thing of Drunk Elephant something. Like, it had the white bottle with the pink lid. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go over to the Drunk Elephant section and look at what this is, see how much it is. It was like $80 for a face wash that had like all these different acids in it. Drunk Elephant's target market right now is young children, I swear. And then I see another girl, she's probably like 10 or 11, maybe 12, that kind of age range. And it was the Paula's Choice, like, exfoliating stuff. And that's what really got me. That's what really made me shook. Because I'm like, how and why are you letting your little kid put this on their face? The one thing that I really went in there for was the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip things or the Summer Fridays lip balm, because I have one and I've had it for a few months and it's slowly running out, so I need some more. I go over to the Summer Friday section. All of the lip balms are gone. That was my next goal, and it was to look and see if any of these kids had them in their hands. When I tell you, I look over to my right with 6 of these lip balms. 6. Why do you need 6? It took everything in me not to walk up to her and be like, hey, like, can I have one of those? Like, I just ran out of the one that I've had for like 4 months.
This video is for those 10-year-olds at Sephora, and if you're not a 10-year-old at Sephora, then just keep scrolling. Why are you making your mother spend $75 on a moisturizer? There's amazing drugstore skincare. So from the ages of 10 to like 16, you really only need 3 products: a cleanser, a moisturizer, and an SPF, because your skin cells are in a constant state of cell turnover. Basically, you have amazing skin. So I built you a skincare routine that you can literally find at Walmart. So Bubble's one of my favorite brands. If you're just starting out, they're vegan, cruelty-free, and they're dermatologist tested. First step, we have the Bubble Gel Cleanser. You can use this morning and night. Then we have the Bubble Slam Dunk Hydrating Moisturizer, again, morning and night. Lastly, we have your SPF, the most important step. This is from CeraVe. It's their SPF 30, and it's ultra light, so it won't feel heavy. But if you want to get fancy, let's add 2 more products. Before your moisturizer, spray on this Heritage Store rose water and glycerin spray, then immediately go on with the CeraVe hyaluronic acid. The rose water will soothe and soften your skin, while the glycerin will help to lock in moisture, and the hyaluronic acid will smooth and plump your skin. Plus, for 25 bucks, Bubble also has these skincare sets. And if you like this video, go check out my other videos.
I didn't know they came with the blushes too.
Excuse me,
We gonna
are
go
you
ahead
getting
and
that one? It's the last one.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting it. Mine.
But you're a boy.
I never understand what y'all was talking about when y'all said 10-year-olds at Sephora until just now. So me at my old age decides to walk into Sephora because new year, new products. Let me try something new. As soon as I walk in, this group of girls are just staring at me. Kikiing, giggling, laughing, but guess who's about to get the last laugh when I become your stepdaddy because it's new makeup. I was just shopping around looking at the new viral products on TikTok, and I saw Drunk Elephant came out with blush drops. Girl, it's the last one. So I pick it up, I'm looking at it. Ooh, do I really want this? Ooh, it's the last one. And this little girl comes over with her hot Cheeto-ass fingers talking about, are you gonna get that? It's the last one. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting it. Oh, but you're a boy. Huh? My initial reaction is just laugh. But she keeps going, you're a boy. Why are you in Sephora? Why do you need makeup? I looked at her, I said, and girl, you're 10. Only makeup that you need is that Claire's Disney collab. Not no $30, $40 Drunk Elephant drops, babes. You can't even drink. Time out.
Hi, do you have Drunk Elephant? Is this for your mom? No, it's for me, and I just turned 12. You're looking for retinol? Baby, you don't want that. Give it to me. Oh my god. Is there anything else I can help you with? Yeah, I need a blush. Okay, well, we have like, one size. What's that? I need Rare Beauty. Whatever that is, I don't want it. I want Rare Beauty. Hope and encouragement. Okay, so your total is going to be $10,1112. Should I use my money, my savings, or my dad's? Use your dad's. Okay. Here. What the fuck?
Where's all the Drunk Elephant, bitch? I already have all these. Why don't you do your job and go fetch me the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops immediately? I also want this Dior lip oil in every single shade that you have.
Let me give you the total first. That's gonna be expensive.
I don't need to know the total. Not everyone's broke like you, old lady. Hold my Louis Vuitton purse, peasant. I want to try the shade on. Go get me the Too Faced lip injection gloss. I saw it on TikTok and I want it. What is this? I asked for a lip pumper. I want it to look like I I have lip injections. I don't want this Laneige sleeping mask. Are you stupid or did you not hear me or something?
Yay, I got the last drunk elephant cleanser.
It's mine now. Oops, you should have held on to it a little bit tighter, huh? Grab me some retinol or something for like anti-aging, okay? Sarah V, this is just a face wash. What am I supposed to do with this?
That's a little more age appropriate. I'm just trying to help you out.
Mommy said that she would buy me a Dyson Airwrap, so give it to me. Does this look like a Dyson Airwrap to you? This is like 30 bucks. The Dyson's supposed to be like $500. I'm not broke. I already said that. If you grab the wrong thing one more time, I swear I will suffocate you with my Lululemon leggings. I asked you for YSL or Gucci perfume. This is Ariana Grande.
I've been seeing everybody talking about the Sephora kids, and I am not surprised. I am not originally from LA, so this is very foreign to me, but I have done full appointments, arrived to the appointment as a makeup artist, and the client has been a child. This has happened at least 10 times. Some families will get makeup appointments for all of their little girls. One day I walked into an appointment and there were 6 little girls in high chairs and my client was 8. So if you're wondering where the parents are, the parents don't care. The parents are funding the appointments. The parents are funding Drunk Elephant. It's insane. But I will say that whenever I walked in and a child was my client, I felt instant relief. I love kids, and what do they even need? All they want is highlight everywhere. It is the easiest way to spend your time as a makeup artist, maybe also the strangest, and I did have one little girl cry in my chair.
Amiga, I'm in a hurry, pero I heard this girl talking about the Sephora kids, and the other day, bitch, I was at Sephora, and I remember there was this short-ass little girl. I know she was little. She was probably in 3rd grade max. I just had walked into Sephora, and this little girl was, like, leaving, and she was leaving with, like, 2 big-ass bags. Well, not big-ass bags, but, like, 2 little bags of Sephora. I'm like, what the fuck could she have gotten that she needs 2 bags for? Because I literally went in and I bought 3 things and they gave me 1 little bag. I'm like, what the fuck did she... These grown little kids, why do they all wear Lululemon? That's all they wear. This little girl was wearing like headband Lululemon, sweater Lululemon, leggings Lululemon, bitch. Hasta los zapatos Lululemon. Bitch was fucking sponsored by Lululemon at this point. I was like, what happened to Justice? Like, what happened to Claire's? Like, and I think that's all of them. Like, bitch, they're like Lululemon dripped out. The crazy thing is, like, these places are like not cheap. They're like expensive places, bitch. Like, Lulu fucking Lemon sweater is like almost $100 fucking for what? Like, play with Barbies, girl. Y'all keep selling out my favorite fucking shit. Please stop.
Since we're talking about 10-year-olds at Sephora, I used to work at a high-end retailer, and one day this girl and her 2 friends came to pick up an online order. So to release the order, I had to see a piece of ID, and this is where I knew she was young because she had no ID. So she called her mom over, and while she was waiting for her mom, her and her 2 friends were hanging around the front desk, chatting. And here's when I knew our generation is... They were talking about how in the future, after high school, they hope to be stay-at-home moms, no work, just shop, Pilates princess, Range Rover, that's all I heard. And mind you, I don't want to work either, but when I was 10 or 11, I didn't have those thoughts. Anyways, mom came and she picked up the order, and before leaving, mom passed her the order. It was for her, the girl, and the order was a designer card holder. I don't know about you, but at her age, I was shopping at Claire's. My dream job was to be a Claire's manager. So all in all, I agree when people say it's the parents. It's the parents that enable the 10-year-olds to be like this.
I am so glad that the children in Sephora conversation is happening. Because I literally texted my best friend like 3 or 4 months ago. I was in Sephora and I was surrounded by 12-year-olds. He would have thought I was a counselor taking these girls on a school trip. So many ones, and they're purchasing the most expensive shit possible. But it's the fact, like, your parents are rich and you're more well off than I am at 27, I get it. But I've heard bullying from girl to girl in that store. of being like, oh, she can't afford that. Like, no, it's a $54 moisturizer. You don't even need that at 12 years old. They are rude to the associates. They are rude to other customers. They cut customers off. I have heard little girls scream at their parent. And I mean, the parents are enabling that. I'm sorry, just you have to tell your kid, no, you're a parent. You have to do that. Mine did it to me all the time. Parents, look out for your kids because they're about to piss off the wrong person in that store.
So I've been hearing a lot about Sephora kids, and I think I've experienced my first one yesterday at an H&M. Like, I think they're evolving. So I was looking at shirts, literally the one that I'm wearing right now. There was one pink one left, and I saw this girl like out of the corner of my eye watching me look at these shirts, and right as I picked up this pink one, she like runs on over and rips it out of my hand, like rips the hanger out of my hand, and then she runs to her mom and goes, "Mom, I'm buying this," and I'm like, I was standing there like appalled, like did this girl just rip this shirt out of my hand as I picked it up? I was so confused, and I thought she was maybe around my age, and then so I like kind of turned around and looked at her again, and she was like 10. This was like a 10-year-old girl. And then at some point I was near her again in the store, and I overheard her talking to her mom, and the mom was like suggesting a pair of jeans, and the daughter like turns around and looks at her and goes, "Mom, are you stupid? That pair of jeans does not match this shade of pink." I was shocked. If I even attempted to speak that way to my mother would magically make a wooden spoon appear out of thin air and pop me with it. Like, how, I just don't understand how this mom like let her kid talk to her like that. And all the mom did was like, "Oh, sweetie, if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to get it." Like no. Like, why would she let her talk to her that way? I'd be like, "Okay, sweetie, if you don't want to come home with me, then you can walk. You can walk your ass home if you want to talk to me like that. Bye."
Tell me how I went to Sephora yesterday and there was like a whole bunch of like little 10, 12-year-old girls, little preteen girls, getting Drunk Elephant, Charlotte Tilbury, all of like the super expensive skincare and makeup products. And it got me thinking, I'm here like, wow, like these girls are never gonna get the feeling of like entering womanhood. For me, it went like Claire's, then Ulta, then Sephora. Like I just started shopping at Sephora. Don't get me wrong, I still love Ulta. That's like besides the point. But these girls are just like they don't have a preteen stage the way we had a preteen stage. I remember back in 2013, I was like 13, and I wanted like this bow from Claire's, like, because Ariana Grande was super big, and she like that's when she used to do like her little bows, and I begged my mom for this little bow. Those bows were like $5 each. They were so expensive. I remember that's like all I wanted was like little bows. Now little girls want retinol. Like, what do you need retinol at age 11 for? I'm holding my phone because it died, but it just had me thinking that like, one, I would have really hated to be a preteen at this time and age, because I wouldn't have been able to afford nothing that these little girls are affording. But two, like, where the fuck are the parents? Like, why are you guys buying your daughters $30 moisturizers and $45 retinols when they truly don't need that? Let your baby girls be girls. Let them play with toys. I don't know. Let them listen to boy bands. Like, why the fuck are they engaging in this shit? Why are they engaging in overconsumption? Let kids be kids again, please.
Hey y'all, get ready with me while I tell you guys my story or my experience with these little 12-year-olds going crazy about the Drunk Elephant. Except, you know what? It gets worse. It wasn't Drunk Elephant. It was a Dyson Buki. A Dyson. Okay. So we're not just talking about $80 skincare. We're talking about a $600 blow dryer. Okay. $600 blow dryer. So I'm like, just in the cashier, and I'm just helping out guests, and this little girl cuts in front of everybody to come and ask me a question. So she's like, "Oh, I put a Dyson on hold, but I just want to know like how many points I would be getting for like the purchase." So I tell her, and I'm like, "Oh, you would be getting this much, like whatever." I'm explaining to her, but I'm like, "Oh, like I can't really like interrupt my guest." So I'm just like, "Just give me 1 second, like I'll answer your questions once I'm done with her." So then she like is standing there staring at me like not rudely, but she's just like waiting for me to like give her attention. And I'm like, like me personally, like if I'm at the cashier, like, and I'm the guest, like I wouldn't want my cashier to be going and like giving somebody else attention and I'm in the middle of a conversation. Like, like just wait a second and you can go and help them. So I'm just like, just give me 1 second, because I feel like it's kind of rude. Like, I'm not going to interrupt this other guest because you want to have a question. So whatever. She's like, "Oh, okay." Then she goes,
So if I get this many points, like she literally had already asked my coworker this, mind you, because I heard her saying this to my coworker. So I was like, okay, so we're asking the same questions now. Whatever. I respond nicely, but then I tell her, hey, you have to go back in line because I can't let you skip all these people. She's like, my mom's already in line. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, whenever your mom gets to the front, I can take you guys, okay? And she was like, okay. Okay. So then I'm like, okay, like, you know, like, just, okay, like, what am I supposed to say? So then she goes back into the line with her mom, and then they get there, like, 2 customers after, right? Then they're like, oh, we have the Dyson on hold. I already knew because I saw her, and I was like, okay, cool. So I grabbed the Dyson for them. They're, like, beginning to check out and whatever, and then the daughter starts to ask her mom for $8, right? And her mom was like, I'm not giving you any more money. Like, I just spent $650 on a Dyson for you. Like, I'm not going to give you $8 more. Like, girl, what? So, mind you, they are from Brazil. They had asked me if I spoke Portuguese, and I was like, yes. And when the little girl asked me if I spoke Portuguese, she got mad at me because I didn't tell her I spoke Portuguese in the beginning. And I'm like, bro, you guys are speaking English to me. Like, how am I supposed to assume that you're Brazilian? Like, what? And then literally on my name tag, it literally says I speak Portuguese in Portuguese. Like, what? So I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I couldn't really just, like, I'm not going to assume. So I'm like, I didn't tell you, but whatever. She's like, oh, okay, whatever. And then they're checking out. She's proceeding to ask her mom, oh, can you give me the $8? Can you give me the $8? Like, being annoying about it, like, rude. Like, she's not even, can you give me? She's like, give me the $8. Like, demanding from her mother, okay? So I'm like, okay, like, this is getting a little awkward. Like, I'm understanding everything y'all are saying, but I'm the only one that's understanding everything y'all are saying. So you're just speaking to her in any manner, and nobody else understands except for me. So I'm like, this is great. Then her mom proceeds to tell her nicely. She's like, I'm not giving you any more money. Like, I already told you this trip has been really expensive, and I just bought you a $650 Dyson. Like, girl, what? So then the little girl goes, oh my God, you're so annoying. Like, I don't understand why you can't just give me the money. Like, you always do the most. Like, you can never just give me the money. Like, I already asked you, and I already told you you were going to give it to me. I'm going to tell all my aunts that you're not giving me my money, and you're stealing it from me. What? So at that moment, I became baffled because I was like, oh, okay. So I already seen the attitude coming. But the attitude now to your mom, and the mom didn't do anything, bro. This is what I really wanted to talk about, because all these little kids are acting this way because the parents don't do anything. I remember when I was little, bro, I would give one little attitude and I would be running across the house to not get smacked in the butt. I would be running across the house so I would not get a whooping. Like, I'm sorry. Did we forget how to get whoopings? Like, the gentle parenting is going too far. Like, gentle parenting means teaching your kid what you need without having to smack them. But once they get to that point, oh, baby, you could smack them. Okay? So, proceeding. Her mom gets these nail polishes, and she's asking me, like, what each of them do, because she didn't really know how to read English. So I'm, like, explaining to her, like, what the purpose of each of them was. And she didn't want one of them because she thought it was something else. So I'm like, okay, like, if you want to go grab something else, like, you can feel free, and I'll just wait for you guys here, and, like, you guys can check out so you don't have to wait in line again. So she goes to grab it real quick, and the little daughter stays at the cashier, right? And she starts to vent to me about her mom, and she's like, oh my God, my mom is so annoying. Like, you see how she doesn't even want to give me the $8? Like, girl, like, why can't you just give me the $8? Like, it's not even yours, and you're being so annoying. Like, you don't do anything for me. And I'm like, oh my God, like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, like, what do you mean she doesn't do anything for you? She just got you a $650 Dyson. Like, that is insane. Like, when I was that age, bro, I was asking for freaking slime. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, literally slime. And the skincare I was using, I didn't even use a blow dryer, but, like, my skincare was literally, like, a freaking bar of soap. So I'm like, oh, wow. These kids have really grown up. This is sad. So she starts to vent to me about her mom, like, oh, my God, my mom is so nice. She doesn't get me anything, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just, like, listening. I'm like, oh, okay. Bro, is anyone else freaking nose drip when they're doing makeup? Anyways, not the point. So she's, like, venting to me. And then she's like, oh, let me go grab her. She's taking forever. Mind you, the lady literally took like a minute. So I'm like, okay, like, what am I supposed to say? I'm just like, okay, like, no problem. So she goes and, like, goes to the back to look for her mom. Then when they're coming back, this little girl shoves and pushes everyone in line. And mind you, there's like 10-15 people in line. Okay? So she pushes everyone, but I wasn't aware of that because, like, when I'm at the cashier, like, I'm distracted. Like, I'm just looking at other things. Like, I'm looking in the back, like, seeing if we have any other hold or whatever the case is. So I didn't even see her do that. But when she came to the front, she was like, oh yeah, these 2 ladies in the back were trying to start a fight with me because I pushed them. And I was like, oh, like, what? Like, I kind of just ignored it because I was like, what is she talking about? Or, like, I didn't even know what she was talking about. So I was like, okay. And then she was like, yeah. And I just said, haha, thank you. And I was like,
what, like, okay, this sounds weird. So I'm telling my manager at the end of the day, like, what had happened with this little girl. And she was like, oh my gosh, that was the same little girl that literally pushed me in line while I was talking to a guest. And the guest defended me and was like, oh, why did you push her out of the way? Like, she was turned backwards. Like, she can't see you're coming. So why did you push her? And the little girl goes, thank you, and walks away. Oh, if that was my child, the whooping you would have got with a belt. Not even my hand, with a belt. Because obviously y'all be forgetting. So I'm like, oh my, like, bro, like, I don't recall. Like, I've never had that attitude with my mom. Like, what? So I'm just like, this is going great. Then they get back to the register. She's still asking her mom for the $8. Her mom is still saying she's not going to give it to her. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Then she starts to tell her mom, like, she's so annoying, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, this is so awkward. Like, I need to go home right now. And whatever. They're just, like, she's not arguing. Like, her mom, like, is not arguing with her. But she's just, like, telling her nicely. Like, and I'm like, bro, like, the niceness only goes so far. Like, as a parent, bro, like, you need to freaking discipline your child. Like, they're a child. They are not old enough to be telling you what to do. First of all, if I had a freaking little girl and I just bought her $650, like, whatever it was, like a Dyson, for example, and she's over here begging me for money, like, and being rude about it in front of the guest, like, I will smack you in front of her. Like, don't play with me right now. Like, I will smack you. As much as I love you and I have respect for you, I will smack you in front of her. So do not play with me. Like, you're gonna know what boundaries not to cross. So I'm just, like, listening, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what is going on right now? Then they have the audacity to, when they're done, the little girl goes to me, sorry if we caused you any trouble. And I'm just like, girl, you did cause me trouble. But I'm like, you need to apologize to your mother. Like, you're over here talking to her crazy, and the mother isn't even doing anything. Like, bro, as I said, the gentle parenting is going way too far, and I think a lot of us has seen it firsthand. So if you're a parent and you are one of these parents to the 11-year-olds that be giving you attitude, you better step up and stand on business 2024, because I don't know what you're doing.